The 2025 Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale in Rosso Corsa is not just another car.
It is a declaration of intent from Maranello. A statement that Ferrari continues to redefine the boundaries of performance, technology, and design. When you first lay eyes on it, you realize immediately that this is not a conventional Ferrari. This is an evolution. A culmination of racing pedigree and road car refinement. And it starts with the most striking sight of all, the bodywork bathed in Rosso Corsa, the timeless Ferrari red that has defined generations of icons. But here, that red does something different. It looks alive. Under sunlight, it pulses with a deep metallic brilliance that seems to shift with every angle. In shade, it takes on a darker, more aggressive tone, emphasizing the sculpted curves and razor-sharp aerodynamics of the SF90 XX Stradale. Ferrari has always used Rosso Corsa as more than just a color. It is a symbol. It is a direct link to Formula One, to endurance racing, to every Ferrari that has crossed a finish line in glory. And on the SF90 XX Stradale, it acts as a crown. Because this is not just the SF90 you thought you knew.
This is the 20 program unleashed for the road. The 20 division is Ferrari's most extreme development laboratory.
It has produced machines like the FXX, the 599 XX, and the FXXK, cars so radical they were never meant for public streets. Track-only monsters engineered to push drivers and engineers beyond their limits. Until now. With the SF90 XX Stradale, Ferrari has brought that track-borne philosophy into a road-legal package. It is something enthusiasts have begged for, and Ferrari has finally delivered. The result is breathtaking. From the very first glance, the exterior communicates speed in its purest form. The front is low, aggressive, and sculpted with precision. Large air intakes dominate, feeding both the engine and the cooling systems with relentless efficiency. Every vent, every crease, every curve exists with a purpose. Ferrari did not design this car for decoration. They designed it for dominance. Look closely at the headlights and you'll notice how slim, how sharp they are. They don't just illuminate the road.
They slice through the darkness like a predator's size.
The hood is vented, channeling airflow to reduce drag and increase downforce. Even standing still, the car looks as if it's in motion. The side profile tells a similar story.
Aerodynamics roulir.
Deep sculpted doors, massive side intakes, and flowing lines that guide the wind with surgical precision. The roofline sweeps back elegantly, tapering toward the most dramatic element of all, the rear wing. Yes, the SF90 XX Stradale comes with a fixed rear wing. And that changes everything. This is the first Ferrari road car in decades to feature such an aggressive aero solution. And it is not just for show. That wing alone contributes to a massive increase in downforce, pinning the car to the asphalt at high speed. The result is handling that borders on supernatural. The rear is equally dramatic. Quad exhaust tips sit high, flanking a diffuser that looks like it was taken straight from a Le Mans prototype. The taillights are thin, sharp, and futuristic, glowing like streaks of fire at night. It is not simply a car you look at. It is a car that looks back at you.
Demanding respect. Demanding attention.
And yet, there is beauty in its brutality. The proportions are balanced, the stance is wide, and the craftsmanship is unmistakably Ferrari. This is a machine born in wind tunnels and forged on racetracks. But it is also a piece of art. Step closer and you notice the details. Carbon fiber is everywhere, lightweight, strong, and meticulously finished. From the splitter at the front to the diffuser at the back, every piece contributes to both aesthetics and performance. The wheels are forged alloys designed for strength and reduced weight. Behind them, carbon ceramic brakes peek through, massive discs paired with calipers painted in a contrasting shade of yellow, hinting at their ferocious stopping power. Even the tires are special. Developed specifically to harness the car's power and aerodynamics, they are sticky, wide, and unforgiving. This is not a car that compromises. It is a car that demands commitment.
And then, you open the door.
Inside, the transformation is even more profound.
When you open the door of the Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale, the first thing you feel is
This is not an interior designed for comfort above all else. It is designed for focus.
For précision.
For that intimate connection between man and machine that only Ferrari seems capable of capturing. The seats are racing buckets, sculpted from carbon fiber and wrapped in Alcantara and leather. They are thin, lightweight, and purposeful, yet they still manage to cradle you with just enough support for long-distance driving. But the message is clear the moment you sit down. This car was built for the driver, not the passenger. The driving position is low and commanding. Your legs stretch forward, your hands fall naturally onto the wheel, and your line of sight is dominated by the road ahead. The steering wheel itself is a masterpiece of modern engineering. Flat-bottomed, wrapped in premium materials, and loaded with Ferrari's signature Maranello dial, it gives you instant access to performance settings. From the steering wheel, you control driving modes, suspension stiffness, traction systems, and even the hybrid powertrain balance. It is a cockpit in the truest sense of the word. Behind the wheel, the digital instrument cluster is massive and fully configurable.
It brings together information from the combustion engine, the electric motors, the hybrid system, and the aerodynamic.
It doesn't just display numbers. It displays intelligence. Ferrari has refined its interface to deliver clarity at a glance, but also depth when you demand it. One moment, you're looking at speed and revs. The next, you're analyzing battery deployment, G-forces, and lap telemetry. This is where road car and race car finally blur into one. The center console is minimal, with toggles and switches that resemble those of a Formula One machine. There is no clutter here. Every control has a function. Every detail is deliberate. Even the gear selector is designed like a metallic gate, a tribute to Ferrari's legendary gated manuals of the past, but reimagined for a hybrid supercar. Ferrari has struck a balance between tradition and innovation in a way that feels seamless. And then there is the sound inside the cabin. Even before the engine roars to life, you can sense the silence of electric mode. Yes, this car can glide in near silence through a city street. But when you unleash the V8, the cabin fills with a sound that is raw, mechanical, and emotional. It is a reminder that while electricity may shape the future, Ferrari's soul is still forged in combustion. The materials are extraordinary. Alcantara wraps the dashboard, carbon fiber stretches across the door panels, and exposed stitching reflects the handcrafted detail of Italian artisans. This is not a car assembled. This is a car sculpted. A car born from passion as much as from science. Ferrari has even paid attention to weight reduction inside the cabin. There are fewer unnecessary luxuries compared to the standard SF90 Stradale.
No excess padding. No extra insulation.
Just enough to keep it livable, but never at the cost of speed. And yet, it is not a stripped-out race car. You still have air conditioning.
You still have a premium sound system.
You still have the ability to connect your phone, navigate, and enjoy modern conveniences. But those features fade into the background. Because once you are seated, buckled in, and your hands grip the wheel, nothing else matters. It feels less like you are sitting in a car, and more like you are strapping into a machine designed to extend your own capabilities. The atmosphere inside the SF90 XX Stradale is not one of luxury. It is one of readiness.
Of anticipation. Every detail whispers the something.
You are not here to be comfortable. You are here to drive. Press the start button, and the hybrid system awakens with quiet precision. If you choose, you can roll silently on electric power. But the real magic happens when the twin-turbocharged V8 erupts. A ferocious bark fills the cabin, settling into a guttural idle that shakes your chest. At that moment, you are reminded that while this car carries the badge of progress, it never forgets the traditions of Ferrari's heartbeat. The screens illuminate with data.
The Manettino G-View choice.
You can cruise in e-drive. You can blend power in hybrid. Or you can unleash everything in qualifying mode, where maximum performance becomes your only companion. The steering wheel stiffens.
The suspension lower. The throttle sharpen.
Every system prepares for attack. And you, the driver, are at the center of it all. The interior of the SF90 XX Stradale is not designed to entertain you. It is designed to prepare you.
Prepare you for the speed. Prepare you for the grip.
Prepare you for the symphony of combustion and electricity working in perfect harmony. It is less of an interior and more of a command center. One built for those who understand that driving is not transportation. Driving is an art. And the SF90 XX Stradale is the brush with which you paint.
At the top of the Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale lies a masterpiece of engineering.
A twin-turbocharged 4.0-liter V8 engine, paired with 3 electric motors, delivering a combined output of 1,030 horsepower. Yes, you heard that right. Over 1,000 horsepower in a road-legal Ferrari. Numbers like that once belonged exclusively to hypercars. But here, Ferrari has taken them, refined them, and unleashed them in a machine you can drive on public streets. The V8 itself is an evolution of the engine found in the standard SF90. But in the XX Stradale, it breathes differently.
Ferrari Engineer.
Have reworked its intake and exhaust systems, improved its cooling, and refined its mapping. The result is not just more power, but sharper response.
It file immédiate. It file live.
The turbos spool quickly, delivering a wave of acceleration that is violent yet controlled. And then there is the hybrid system. 3 electric motors, 2 at the front axle and 1 at the rear, work in perfect harmony with the V8. Together, they do more than just add power. They add intelligence. They fill in gaps in torque delivery, eliminating turbo lag. They enhance traction, distributing power instantly where it is needed most. They even allow the car to run silently in full electric mode for short distances. But make no mistake. This is not a hybrid built for economy. It is a hybrid built for war. The SF90 XX Stradale can launch from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 2.3 seconds. That figure alone puts it in the realm of the fastest cars ever built. And yet, it's not just about straight-line speed. What truly defines this car is how it deploys its power. The all-wheel drive system, aided by electric motors at the front, ensures relentless grip. The torque vectoring is so advanced that it feels as if the car is reading your intentions before you even act. You turn the wheel, and the car doesn't just follow. It attacks the corner. It digs in. It pivots with precision that feels unnatural, almost digital, and yet it remains organic. Ferrari has managed to blend the rawness of mechanical power with the instant precision of electricity. It is a dance between two worlds. And you are the conductor.
The accélération is brutale.
The way the car surges forward is unlike anything else in Ferrari's lineup. There is no hesitation, no delay, only relentless thrust. Each gear snaps into place through the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. The shifts are lightning fast, seamless, and aggressive when you demand them, yet smooth and restrained when you choose calm.
On a straight, the SF90 XX Stradale file like a rocket.
But in the corners, it feels like a scalpel.
The chassis se live bene at you.
The suspension adapts in milliseconds, stiffening or softening depending on the demands of the road. The aerodynamics work with a mechanical grip to glue you to the tarmac. And that fixed rear wing? It generates an additional 530 kilograms of downforce at speed. That is race car territory. It means the faster you go, the more stable you become. It means you can carry speed through corners that would terrify lesser cars. It means that for the first time, a Ferrari road car feels like an XX program car that just happens to have license plates. And yet, despite the technology, it never feels disconnected. Ferrari has not built a video game simulator. They have built a car that demands your skill, your attention, your respect. If you get sloppy, it will remind you who is in charge. But if you rise to its level, it rewards you with an experience so pure, so intoxicating, that it borders on spiritual. The braking system is equally astonishing. Carbon ceramic discs paired with advanced brake-by-wire technology deliver stopping power that defies belief. From high speeds, the car sheds velocity with violent efficiency, yet remains composed. The pedal feel is firm, communicative, and confidence-inspiring. Lap after lap, corner after corner, the system resists fade, reminding you that this car was born for the circuit. And yet, Ferrari has given it balance. Switch to hybrid mode, drive it through a city, and it becomes tame, almost civilized.
The electric motors take over, the V8 falls silent, and the car glide like a grand touré.
It is an astonishing duality. One moment, it is a monster. The next, it is a whisper. And that duality is what makes the SF90 XX Stradale more than just a performance machine. It makes it a technological marvel.
A glimpse into the future of Ferrari.
A future where electricity and combustion are not rivals, but partners. A future where performance does not come at the cost of emotion. Because despite all the numbers, all the engineering, all the brilliance, the most powerful force in this car is still the way it makes you feel.
Your pulse quickens when you grip the wheel.
Your breath catches when the V8 screams to its red line.
Your atras when the electric motors shove you out of a corner with instant torque.
It is not just acceleration. It is adrenaline.
Pur, infiltré d'adrénaline.
And it is here, in this balance between man, machine, and technology, that the SF90 XX Stradale proves itself worthy of the prancing horse. On the track, the Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale transforms from an extraordinary road car into something entirely different. It becomes a weapon. Every component, every system, every ounce of engineering works together to create an experience that borders on the surreal.
From the moment you launch down a straight, you feel the car ascent.
The engine roars, the electric motors surge, and the aerodynamics begin their silent work. Air becomes an ally. Every vent, every wing, every sculpted surface has been designed to command it. The front splitter channels airflow underneath the car, creating suction that glues the nose to the tarmac. The underbody is sculpted with tunnels that accelerate air, increasing ground effect while minimizing drag. The side skirts prevent turbulent air from spilling underneath, keeping flow clean and stable. And then there is the rear. The massive fixed wing, paired with an advanced active rear spoiler, is the most dramatic aerodynamic feature ever fitted to a road-legal Ferrari. It is not just for spectacle. At high speeds, this system generates over 530 kilograms of downforce. That means greater stability, greater cornering speed, and a sense of confidence that is rare in cars this powerful. You enter a corner faster than you think possible. The downforce presses the tires into the asphalt, and suddenly, you realize the car is capable of more than your mind dares to believe. Lap after lap, it invites you to push harder, brake later, and accelerate sooner. And yet, it never feels unstable. The balance is remarkable. The front end bites with ferocity, while the rear follows with precision. There is no sense of nervousness, no twitching, no hesitation. It is planted, poised, and purposeful. This is where Ferrari's decades of Formula One experience shine through. Because what you feel on a track day with the SF90 XX Stradale is the direct trickle-down of racing technology. The suspension is another key element. Adaptive dampers constantly adjust, stiffening under load, softening on straights, and keeping the car level under brutal forces. It is like having an engineer inside the car, tuning suspension settings for every inch of the circuit. The result is grip that feels endless. Grip that redefines your understanding of physics. And then when you stand on the brakes at the end of a straight, you are reminded of just how advanced this machine is. The carbon ceramics bite with force, but it is the aerodynamic drag and downforce that help the car stop with such authority. The wing works as an air brake, stabilizing the car as velocity falls away. There is no drama. Just precise, repeatable stopping power. It makes you braver, lap after lap. You push harder, and the car continues to deliver. Few road-legal cars can withstand true track punishment without compromise. But the SF90 XX Stradale thrives on it. It was bred for it. And yet, while it dominates the track, it must also be compared to Ferrari's other greats. The standard SF90 Stradale is already a masterpiece, blending hybrid technology with incredible performance. But the XX version takes that foundation and amplifies it. It is sharper, more aggressive, more visceral.
Where the standard SF90 balance between usability and performance, the 20 Stradale abandon compromise.
It exists to thrill, to challenge, to elevate. Compared to cars like the LaFerrari, the SF90 XX Stradale represents a generational leap. The LaFerrari was the pinnacle of its time, a hybrid hypercar that stunned the world. But technology has moved forward. The SF90 XX Stradale delivers more power, more downforce, more capability, all while being more efficient and accessible. It is evolution, refined. And when you place it against the limited-run XX track cars of the past, like the 599XX or the FXXK, something remarkable becomes clear. Those cars were never road legal. They were toys for the track, confined to Ferrari-organized events. The SF90 XX Stradale changes that rule. For the first time, Ferrari has built an XX machine that you can drive home after destroying lap records. That distinction makes it historic. No longer must you choose between track-only and road-legal. The SF90 XX Stradale is both. It is the bridge between two worlds. And in that sense, it feels like a statement from Ferrari. A promise that the spirit of racing will never fade, even as technology evolves. It also positions itself uniquely against rivals.
Yes, cars like the McLaren P1, Porsche 918 Spider, and Aston Martin Valkyrie have redefined performance benchmarks.
But the Ferrari feels different. It feels purer. Those cars each have their brilliance, but none carry the weight of Ferrari's racing heritage in quite the same way. None fuse track-borne technology with road-going passion with such artistry. And none paint it in Rosso Corsa, the color that carries decades of victory. That is what makes the SF90 XX Stradale more than just another hypercar. It makes it a legend in the making. Because when you drive it, you do not feel like you are piloting a machine designed only for numbers. You feel like you are part of a story that began with Enzo Ferrari's vision. A story that has passed through every Formula One championship, every Le Mans victory, every road car that made history. And now, it has arrived in the form of the 2025 SF90 XX Stradale. A car that carries the soul of racing into the hands of those fortunate enough to own one.